Welcome back, Mr. Motaung.
Ntatetima, thank you.
Yeah, your story is so beautiful. And now, you finished your studies, you graduated. Did your parents come for your graduation, by the way?
Yes, Ntatetima, they did. One of the proudest moments of my life was that.
Wow, sure.
My father could not attend the graduation for national diploma.
Yes.
Because he was at work. He had just found employment, and my mother came, and so I insisted that my mother comes and is joined by her sister.
Yes.
If you remember, I said that I lived with my sister, whose mother is a sister to my mother. But my grandmother, she's my grandmother. She was not well enough to come to the graduation. So one of my sisters, who is her daughter, joined.
Yes.
And the third person who joined on the day was my other newfound mother. When I completed my diploma in the Detsima, I also rented an outside room. Division got Hayes, if you remember.
Yes.
Go in Vanderbilt Park. So I rented a one room there on my third year to complete and to also do my BTech. And I was received by these two parents who treated me like their son. And ironically, their two sons were both at Vets Technicon and Tshwane Technicon at that time. So they were away. And they treated me like their son. So when I graduated, I invited these three powerful women in my life to be with me at graduation day.
Wow. Do you still have their pictures, the pictures of your graduation?
I do have them, yes.
Yeah, those are beautiful mementos. Let's fast forward, Dr. Motaung. I want to hear the entry now into the real world. School, fun at university can mislead. Sometimes some people don't even want to graduate because it's so nice, but you have to face the real world and leave the space for others also to come and learn like you did. So you entered the corporate world. Where did it happen? When did it happen? How did it happen? And which companies did you work for? As what?
Yes. The first ever job I did was to lecture at a private college. And I was lecturing human resources management. They had 3 core modules, and I was teaching all of those. I taught there for 2 years.
Which modules were those?
It was human resources management. Then it was labor relations. And the other one was management of training.
I see. Wow.
So
opportunity to apply.
I'm sorry, Ntatetima?
That was the opportunity to apply the knowledge.
That was the opportunity to apply the knowledge, yes. The funny thing about that, Ntatetima, is that how I got the job is very interesting. I walked to the company and I introduced myself there. And I told them that I think I have the prerequisites to lecture like other lecturers that I was seeing there. And I was asked if I have a CV, and I said, no, I don't have a CV. I didn't come here looking for a job. But if you want to offer me a job, I can give you my CV the next day, which I did. And the next week, I was there working as a lecturer. We'll get back to this later on. The second job I did was from an HR consulting company in Craig Hall Park. So I saw an advert if you remember, Ntatetima, in the Star newspaper, there is a workplace pull-out.
Yes.
Every Wednesday, without fail, I bought that newspaper because I was now searching for employment. I have left the campus. I have left the good life that you speak about. I was an SRC and I had connections and all of that. I'm no longer important. I don't have a room anymore, and I have to have money to pay rent in town while I look for a job. So newspaper every Wednesday was a tradition. I saw a job advert. I submitted my CV, and I remember calling the company to ask if they received my CV, and they said they will check and come back to me. They never did. I only got a call when I was invited for an interview. This was the beginning of 2005. In March, I started in my first job there as an HR consultant, and I was trained for a year to become a consultant and then to provide HR services to other companies.
And so how long did you stay there?
I worked there for 3 years in Tatetima.
Traveling between Vereeniging and Johannesburg every day.
Initially, yes. So in my first month, I was forced to travel from Vereeniging to Craig Hall Park. But I realized that it was becoming difficult because, in fact, in Tatetima, on my first day at work, I was late.
Sure. That should have been a real stressful experience.
If I can give you a picture in Tatetima, I was starting work at 8 o'clock. I remember calling my boss at 7:30, and the taxi was crawling on the M1 North near Gold Reef City because the traffic had just started to crawl there. At 7:30, I still needed to get to the CBD and then walk from where the taxi dropped me to Bree taxi rank, stand in a queue, and then catch a taxi to Craig Hall Park.
That was really hard.
It was stressful. So I was lucky that I spoke to one of my other brothers. His mother and my mother are also sisters. And he went to speak to his own sister who lives in the south of Johannesburg.
Yes.
And the sister said, come and stay with me until you are on your feet.
Yes.
So I could take a metro bus from Southgate to work. And therefore I avoided taxis for the rest of my life.
We know about these stories. These are so common in South Africa, and then sometimes I wish the leaders in companies really understand this, and that they experience this, because it is still happening even today in the Motaung, because of the structural problems we have where people live and where jobs are, you know. You're talking taxi, I mean, ask the people who are using trains what they go through.
That it is very,
we really have to share these stories so that we can really bring the matters to the fore. And I think these issues of access to work, transport is the nerve of the economy. But just in general, for us to live good life, mobility needs to be addressed. And you can't have this transport that only takes one line, and then you arrive in the city center of Johannesburg, then you're stuck.
Yes, in Tatetima.
But
you
anyway,
put it very well.
That's another topic for another day. And so after the 3 years, then I think this you had a very good progressive way of unfolding yourself as a HR professional. You first lectured, now you are consultant, and I'm sure, as I remember very well, somewhere you then go into the real coal face, right?
Yes, Ndatetima. Right after that, I tender my resignation with my boss, and I tell them that I have decided to go and pursue self-employment, if I could put it that way. So a few years before then, I had already registered a company, and I went to be on my own. What was really calling me at that time is something that started while I was still at the Technicon. In my third year, something used to happen where we would be given assignments. And then there was a day when groups had to come and give presentation of their projects in class. Most of the time during that day, the class is either half empty or even only 10% of the people are there. Other students have bunked class. That used to worry me until I realized that a lot of us, because we're predominantly native Africans, we avoided having to present to people. So I started a program there to help students to get used to presenting and giving public talks in front of the audience. When I was consulting, a lot of work that I was doing was recruitment consulting. So I would be in one room with a graduate, a professional who is interviewed by a panel at the City of Joburg, at Vodacom, at MultiChoice, anywhere. And then I began to realize one of the biggest problems that we were facing. We did not have the confidence to speak about ourselves. And this thing used to concern me. So I left the company and I presented programs to companies, mostly that had engineering students. And I said, I would like to get your interns, your graduates, and your students at universities that you're giving bursaries to. I want to give them job readiness program. I want to train them and teach them the skills of presenting, of speaking in public, of doing projects, of time management, of conflict resolution, of a whole array of things that during my 3-year stint, I realized that were a huge gap in the working class or the working people that I was helping to find jobs. So that is what I did for 6 years.
Being self-employed.
Yes, after I left employment in HR consulting.
Sure. What was the name of your company in Ndatetima? Or is still existing even now?
The company is still there, Ndatetima. It's called Morolo Consultants.
Yeah.
Although I have gone through rebranding the past two years, so it has taken a new name altogether. But it is Morolo Consultants.
Good. We'll come back to that. I want to finish the chapter of being in corporate. And after, did you ever go back to corporate or as a full employed somebody, or you've always now worked as a consultant?
Absolutely, Ndade. I did go back, and this is a typical life of entrepreneurs in many cases. So there was a time when it became necessary that I go back to corporate or to the world of work. So I joined mining industry, and little did I realize that when I joined mining industry, the whole journey I have walked qualified me to join the mining industry. And therefore, I got into HR departments, and I was doing what I'd like to call external bound human resources, which many people know it as social and labor plan. And I worked there for between 2014 until 2018, when I got a new opportunity to be join manufacturing in the HR department as well.
So are you comfortable to mention which organizations was that in the mining sector that you worked for?
Yes, I can mention the company. The company was called Liviero Mining.
Yes.
Yes, I worked there, and we were contractors to many mining companies.
Yes.
So we were the ones who were contracted to dig up coal, and we brought the greatest majority of the workforce to the mine operation.
I see. So it's specialized in the subcontracting in the mining industry.
Yes.
So you provided labor and also obviously the equipment to mine the coal.
Absolutely. That is what we were doing.
That's a tough environment, mining, yeah?
It is in many respects, yes.
And then you said after that you joined the manufacturing industry.
Yes, I did.
As an employee?
As an employee, yes.
And which one was that? Which company was that?
So I joined a company called Nyamezela Meter.
Yes.
What we do is we manufacture smart meters that you find in your house.
Yes.
That smart meter you find in your house does not come from Eskom. it comes from us.
Yeah, on instruction from Eskom as a supplier, as a client.
Absolutely.
As a client.
Absolutely, yes. Yes.
It's a good one. You're right. That's very important for people to understand that there is a lot of plug-in the way you do business. It's not possible for one company to supply everything, but they give the job to other industries to meet their demand out there. So and how long were you there?
Well, I'm still there.
Oh, okay. You're still there in the manufacturing environment.
Yes, I'm still in the manufacturing. So I joined them in 2018, towards the end of 2018, and I'm still there.
I see. And so this is now the third year.
I am into my third year.
And what is your title there?
Well, the formal title is called Corporate Services Manager.
I see.
But when I was lured or headhunted for it, it was called Human Resources Manager.
Yeah. And so it is very interesting because I want to also to jump into your passion for HR and the steps you have taken in the form of authoring a book. And then so you have basically suspended your entrepreneurship adventure for now.
Not at all, and this might come as a shock to some people.
Yes.
Not at all.
Yes.
Not at all. So I still pursue the work that I want to do in terms of business. I am lucky to work for the employer that understood even before I joined them that I had this program that I wanted to pursue.
Yes.
So I still get the opportunity.
So it is included in your contract that you are allowed to continue with your passion while you're helping them with the work that you are doing.
Absolutely.
I would like us to come back and talk about that because that could be a workable formula for South Africa. Maybe some people can take a leaf out of your book there. Let's hold it there and we'll be back in a few minutes.